My name is Mark Rowley. I'm an actor. I've been acting for over 10 years now.
Perfect. And how did you get involved with acting?
First time I got involved was through Paisley Youth Theatre. I went there for the first time and then I didn't like it first time round. I had these trousers that were poppers and I remember going into class and these trousers were buttoned up all to the top, just popper trousers, and some girl ended up harassing me for the whole hour of just popping all my trousers off and pulling them away during like my tic tac. bit mental. And then everyone else was pretending they were animals. So first time round I was like, this is not for me. And then 2 years later I went back again. My mum forced me to go back again and it was life changing.
What age would you have been for that second workshop?
11, maybe 11 years old.
And
10,
what did
11.
you think? Did you ever think you'd be an actor at 11?
No. After that though, I think it's important to say, like, I was dyslexic as a kid, so I didn't have my calling. I didn't know what I wanted to do in life, and especially during high school, that kind of like first year, you start to think about your future and what you want, you know. And with myself, I felt as if I didn't have that luxury. There's not many things I was really good at. I had even bushier hair than this. I'm growing this for a part just now and this. But back in the day, I had mental hair and I was a really fat kid. And I got an abundance of confidence through doing pace. And suddenly, within a couple of weeks, a month maybe, I kind of knew that that was my thing, you know, that I actually was really good at it. And I remember Jenny at the time, she ended up coming out and she told my mum, oh, can I speak to you about Mark? And my mum was absolutely raging, thinking that I got into trouble. And Jenny was like, actually, I think Mark has something special. And that was so nice to experience that. And ever since then, I've kind of been just going at it, you know.
Two things. You mentioned there that you gained confidence.
Yeah.
What would you say to a young person that maybe lacks a bit of confidence, and how did you personally gain confidence when you were younger, and how do you gain confidence now?
Set yourself goals and challenges and do the things that you're scared of. And then once you conquer the things you're scared of, then and you see how easy it is, then you're laughing. I think sometimes in life you just build things up in your head. I can't do it. I won't be able to do it. And actually, most of the time, I mean, it's easier said than done, but most of the time you can do it, you know. You can surprise yourself. And then once you surprise yourself and you have an idea of where you can go, then, you know, you're laughing. And that's with every job, I suppose. That's relatively any job, not just acting.
Second thing was, you mentioned being dyslexic when you were younger. How does that affect you as a performer now, and what are the ways you've overcome that?
Now, the only thing I would say, it's a bit of a nightmare sometimes for learning lines, but I get there. And as well as that, actually it's a blessing in disguise, because if I have to do double the work as everyone else, I'll come to a point where I look at the script and I'll get a new idea. Like once, say if I'm trying to learn a scene and it takes someone 2 hours, it might take me 4. When it gets to the third hour, I might do something different and I go, oh, this is different. I didn't even realise this door existed, and I've walked down this path and I've discovered something really interesting about the character, where other actors might have not done that because, you know, they pick it up so quickly. So it's a double-edged sword in a way.
Top 3 tips for learning lines.
Top 3, there's a really good app called Line Learner. That's a brilliant one. So you record everyone's lines and your lines, and then when it comes to your line, you'll get the cue line before it, and then there'll be silence, and then you have to act off of the response of what the person said to you, so that you're learning the thoughts. That's the important thing, that you're learning the thoughts, not the words. And once you have the thought process.
Sponsored by this app?
I know I was sponsored by that app. It's really good. I'm sure there's many out there. When I first started, bargain, 79 pence. And now, £2.50. Yeah, I know.
Right, so you've moved on from acting at Pace and you've decided to go to drama school.
Yeah.
What made you go to drama school, and do you think people have to go to drama school? That's a question people get asked a lot, isn't it?
You don't have to go to drama school, but it helps because you want to try and get an agent at some point who's going to represent you and give you opportunities. So they'll have certain connections with industry, and they can open certain doors and they can give you certain connections where if you don't go to drama school and you don't manage to get an agent, then it's a lot harder. Especially after that, if you have a really good business partner when you come out of drama school, you're laughing because you're young, you're inexperienced, you really don't know how the market works, and there's someone there with experience to guide you along the way. But I do know many people who have not went to drama school and they've done really, really well for themselves, and they've made lots of money, and they've learned on the job, so you can learn on the job. And they don't have debt. So yeah, it just really depends what you're after. But if you want to do theatre, I'd say 100% go to drama school, because a lot of casting directors won't get you in the room.
Obviously, there's lots of highs and lots of troughs and lots of downs whenever you're acting, and that just happens for everyone. If you're Brad Pitt or if you're
up and down.
What would you say ways of dealing with that, and do you recommend it as an industry, as a career?
I think that the most is the hardest bit about being an actor. Like, everyone loves acting, and yeah, when you get on set and stuff, it can be really stressful at times, but for most of the part, it's really fun. However, on the downtime, because there's lots of time that it's quiet in the industry, for example, coming up to November to January, it's quite, everything dips. There's a lull in work. It's really hard to keep positive and motivated. And so that's why you need positive people around you, friends who want the best for you, and you keep motivated with yourself. So either you find a job or something on the side that keeps you ticking, whether or not you want to do writing, or some people go into producing, making their own work, and that motivates them and keeps them inspired. Because that's the hardest thing. That's the hardest thing. Out of all the people that went to in drama school, that's the hardest thing that they've struggled with.
Right, you've had your downtime, it's difficult. You've then learned all your lines using your app. You've then got your big break. What moment did you feel you were an actor? And what led up to that you did differently that you think got you that part?
Probably, when I started getting paid. Like, because then you're actually being able to live as an actor.
What was your first paid role?
First paid one was, it was just as yourself. It was writing sketches when we were, 15, 16? So that was like a taster of it, like a segment, like a tangerine. And then I've had to pick a fruit, not even an orange, a tangerine. And then probably I felt my first job was Case Histories with Jason Isaacs. I learned a lot from him. What
did you learn? What you don't have to tell us everything. I mean, what did you learn about the industry?
About in general, at that moment,
or industry. What did you learn? What age were you?
Probably about a year ago. Started being 28 for the full capacity of what it is, because it's not all fun and games. It's very complex, and it's a money making environment as well. And you need to know where you fit into that, and it's really important, because there's certain people who probably want to make money at the top, and they can make your life fantastic. Or actually, probably best not putting this in. Actually, yeah. Will we do another? What other question we do? What was the question?
I've got loads of questions. We've got 3 more.
Yeah,
so
do it. Probably.
But that's interesting.
I'll probably get in trouble.
I'll bin that. We'll send it directly to Margaret and Doherty, straight to you.
So I'm killed. So that's me killed off the show.
Right. The real reason that people will watch this, not because of you, because of The Last Kingdom and how successful you are in it. No, I'm only joking. How did The Last Kingdom part come about?
It was just through an audition. That was it. Went in for a meeting and got a recall. I loved the part. Ended up reading some of the book. Watched the whole season before going in. And yeah, that was it really.
And for people that have never been to an audition before, what's that involve?
So you are given it a script and the lines beforehand. Hopefully you get the script. Sometimes you're just given the sides, and you'll be asked to prep the sides. So in the UK, when you go in for an audition, they like you to be off book, which means you've learned all the lines. And then you go in the room, you have a brief conversation with the casting director, and then you go on camera with the casting director and you do the scene. And then hopefully they like you, or they like your energy, you as a person and you as an actor. And then they'll put their favourites onto the director, and then the director will decide who they want to get back in the room. And then when you go back into the room, you'll meet the director, the producer might be there, and the casting director. So they three can give you the job there and then. Or what they might do is they might give you a chemistry test. Say if you're playing a lead and you are playing a love interest of someone, then they'll get some people to read with you to see what the chemistry's like. And then from that, they'll probably make a decision.
Okay, you don't have to go into detail, but how many auditions would you say you've been to?
Over 100. Over 100, easy.
And do you feel more confident going into them now, or is it still a struggle?
Yes and no. Because it gets to a time when you want the job. And sometimes if you go in too eager for the job, then you don't get the job. But most of the times where I've went in and I've been very relaxed, I've known the material. The main thing is you just want to show your work. That's it. That's the biggest advice I could give to anyone. Is you go into the meeting and it's just an example of your work. That's all you're doing. It's not you getting the part or anything else. It's you going, this is what I think about the character. Here's my interpretation. Take it and leave it. That is it. And as soon as I got that mindset, then I started to book a lot more jobs and getting very close to parts. I think over time you do get more experienced. However, there always are those cases where you realise, especially with American jobs, that with this job, all your dreams come true. Like, you can buy that nice house, you can do all the great things that you want to do. And that one moment, you're up against maybe two other guys, and that moment can change your entire life and your family's life. So it's hard not to have that little ego boost in your head, but it's try to train that.
What is your dream role? 20 years time, you've won 2 Oscars, 3 BAFTAs. Say to you,
really?
Say to you what for the same part. That's the best part. I say what do you want, Mark? What do you want, Mark? We're in the meetings just now. Big Monty's got set up.
I would love to do something. The best TV show I've ever seen, maybe not movie, but the best TV show I've ever seen is Band of Brothers. I would love to see something like that again. I'd love to be involved in something like that.
Consider it done. Right, 2 more questions. One is, this is from Lorena. I don't know if you know, but there is an Instagram solely for your beard.
Yeah.
Do you have a message for the person that created it, and was it you that created it?
No, it wasn't me. But obviously people like my beard, which, thank you very much, very happy about. But all my mates are like, mate, your beard's got more followers than me. So, yeah, I don't even maintain it. Actually, mate, someone sent me beard oil. Yeah, I've got beard oil now.
Do you want to give a shout out to the sponsor now?
I don't know who it is, but thank you very much. It's to do with Vikings and all that jazz.
Worst sponsor ever!
I know.
Okay, who are you?
I've not used it yet, in all faurness.
Obviously. Thing, thank you very much for your time today, but last thing is People of Paisley. Mm-hmm. What's it about? What are you in it?
People of Paisley is about the people in Paisley. No, I'm kidding. People of Paisley, it's about abstract characters that you'd probably see in the high street, and it's an in-depth into their lives. Comedy, funny. Some bits are quite sad, but for most of the part, it's very funny.
Fantastic.
My gran says that, so.
Last thing, message to people at Pace Youth Theatre.
What, sorry?
What would you say to 12-year-old you back at Pace Youth Theatre if you could sit down now? What would you say to Mark?
Oh, that's a really good question. I would say, I would say start making your own work. Get together with your friends, get a camera and start recording stuff and making ideas happen. And then from that, what I would have done, I would have 12-year-old me, and maybe could have started working earlier, that's what I'd say to any 12-year-old out there. Just keep working, explore ideas while you can, while you're still in high school and you're not stressed.